From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia. Montgomery County firefighters battling ice and flames as they work to save what remains of a beloved church this morning. Worshipers are vowing to rebuild.
And did you visit Rivers Casino in November? We'll tell you why management is now offering some customers 1 year of free credit monitoring.
It's dangerously cold this morning. The biting wind is making it feel even worse. What Philadelphia is doing to make sure everyone has a warm place to go as Kate tracks more snow. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the news at 7, streaming on CBS News Philadelphia and on Philly 57. I'm Jim Donovan.
And I'm Janelle Varell. Welcome to this Wednesday morning. We're going to start with that next weather forecast. Meteorologist Kate Bilo in the Hyundai Next Weather Sphere. Kate.
Yeah, that's right. The big story weather-wise is the cold and the wind, at least for the next few days. And then we have put on a next weather alert for Saturday because we do expect at least a little bit of snow. It does not look like a major snowstorm at this point, but could disrupt some of your Saturday plans, maybe a little inconvenient snow for Saturday morning. Today, though, and tomorrow, and possibly into Friday, it's the wind, and more wind. I think the windiest day is probably tomorrow, but today, blustery, gusts over 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour tomorrow. Friday, they may back down to about 25-mile-an-hour gusts, but still making it feel 10 to 15 degrees colder than it is. Saturday then starts with a little snow. So heading through the rest of your day, you can see it is going to stay cold. Temperatures barely get to the freezing mark or possibly stay below freezing. And look at these winds. Forecast wind gusts here as we head through the course of your afternoon. Peaking midday, we could have gusts over 40 miles an hour starting at 11 a.m. That'll make the temperatures, which are right around the 30 mark, feel more like the teens. Coming up, more on that snow that we can expect as we head into the weekend.
Kate, thanks so much. In next traffic, we have the arms of the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge up. Vehicle traffic is shut down. That's so that this ship can pass underneath. It is a northbound ship, so the Burlington-Bristol Bridge is next. We had a crash on Route 1 southbound between Chandler Road and Independence Way, but that is all cleared out. All lanes are open. We had a crash on the Schuylkill eastbound before Roosevelt Boulevard that was off on the shoulder that just cleared seconds ago. But we still have a disabled vehicle on the shoulder on the Schuylkill westbound right before South Street. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared to get over to the left if someone gets out of that car. Mass transit, we have lots of issues. The Market Frankfurt line eastbound has delays because of mechanical issues at 60th Street. Trolley Route 15 has operator shortages. Same thing for Trolley Route 11 and the Broad Street line northbound express. That has some delays because of earlier equipment issues. So if you're taking mass transit, make sure you bundle up and check that app. Jim?
Thanks so much, Kim. As Kate mentioned, we're in store for another brutally cold day. You should try and limit any time you have to spend outside.
And the city of Philadelphia is taking action to make sure nobody is left out in the cold, literally. Howard Monroe joining us live this morning with more on this initiative to keep everybody safe and warm, and these resources so important, Howard.
Yeah, good morning to you too. The city is still under a cold blue alert as this cold snap it continues, and now the city is encouraging anyone who needs to warm up to go into one of the warming centers, not just those who are experiencing homelessness. Now the city has now opened 20 warming centers across the city, including this one at Juniata Park Older Adult Center. It's part of the new Warming Center initiative. These warming centers are in every council district and are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The city also added 100 beds and shelters as the need grows during the colder months. City leaders say during Monday's storm, 1,000 people used the warming centers. Again, city leaders say these centers are for anyone who needs to warm up.
I want to encourage everyone to use these centers. Use them if you don't have a place to stay. Use them if you're struggling and if for some reason you don't have heat in your home.
It's not just a warming center, but it also gives us access to be able to provide services. We are being able to provide intake for those who want it. We are able to provide shelter for those who want it.
Now, the city says these warming shelters will be open throughout this alert. That alert will be in place until temperatures are above freezing. However, if you are out during the day, you can also go to any free library throughout the city to warm up. We have a place where you can find these shelters at our website, cbsphiladelphia.com. We'll send it back to you guys in studio.
All right. Certainly needed for sure on a day like today. Thank you, Howard. Now to a developing story we've been following out of Montgomery County, where firefighters, they are still at the scene at a Norristown church. This is 12 hours now after a fire broke out there, heavily damaging the church you can see here behind us. Let's get the latest now from Jan Carabeo, who is outside of Faith Tabernacle House of Prayer. Good morning, Jan.
Janelle, good morning. You mentioned 12 hours now. This fire started at 7 o'clock last night, and here we are this morning with fire crews still on scene and working. Now, overnight, they remained here on scene to monitor any hot spots, and they continue to pour water into this building at this hour. Now, we still have one ladder truck doing that work. At one point this morning, there were 3 ladder trucks, so some improvement here on the scene on getting this fire put out once and for all. But these firefighters are not only dealing with fire, they are dealing with icy conditions as well. Icicles are hanging all over the wires around here. And as you can imagine, the road where they're stepping can get very slippery at times. Now, as they continue their work, the focus is also on this church community and where they go from here. We're told this church has 225 members, so no doubt they will be coming together in prayer in the days and weeks ahead, but they have vowed to rebuild. Chopper 3 over the fire last night here at Faith Tabernacle House of Prayer on DeKalb Street in Norristown. Firefighters battled this 2-alarmer for several hours before getting it under control. CBS News Philadelphia spoke to the deacon here, Paul Owens. He has worshiped at this church for his entire life. A neighbor alerted him of the fire and he raced to the scene. He says the fire started around back and fortunately no one was hurt, but he says the church's members will have to find another place to worship.
All the memories, and it's just the history of the church. It's a bad feeling. I'm grateful that no one was in there, no one got hurt, more importantly.
So at the end of the day, we're going to continue to strive. We're going to continue to worship. We're going to continue to do what we need to do and hopefully rebuild.
Those members come from all over Philadelphia and Montgomery County as they deal with the prospect of rebuilding today. The cause of this fire still remains under investigation, and as you can see, work is still active at the scene, and there are a lot of closures, road closures in the area. So if you usually come through the 500 block of DeKalb Street, you'll want to plan for a detour. Now, I just checked in with the chief who is still here on the scene. He is expected to provide us with an update in the next 5 minutes. So any updates we'll bring to you on air and online at cbsphiladelphia.com. Jim and Janelle, back into you.
All right, Jan Carabeo with those developing details this morning. Jan, thank you for that. And now to the driver accused of killing NHL star Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew in Salem County, New Jersey last August. That driver has rejected a plea deal. Sean Higgins pleading not guilty yesterday during his arraignment. The family of the Gaudreau brothers were also there in attendance. Higgins faces reckless vehicular homicide and other charges in connection with that August crash. Salem County prosecutors say Higgins has been offered a plea deal that would have put him behind bars for 35 years without the possibility of early release for at least 30 years. Higgins is due back in court February 4th.
Crews are working to repair a giant sinkhole in North Philadelphia. Take a look at this surveillance video from G&J Auto Care shop in Hunting Park. You can see a SEPTA bus hit a giant dip in the road, and then seconds later, the roadway completely caves in. We spoke with a neighbor who says she heard the noise of the road collapsing outside.
The other day, the bus coming, and the bus coming, I put my house in there. He said, oh my God.
And the worst thing, we don't know when it's gonna be fixed, the road. That's the problem. We never received any notice from nobody from the city.
We reached out to the Philadelphia Water Department. Officials confirmed they repaired a water main break at the location, but it's still unknown what caused the roadway to collapse. If you visited Rivers Casino lately, hackers may have stolen your personal information. The casino in Fishtown says that it suffered a data breach last November. The hackers got access to names, social security numbers, and bank account information. Rivers hasn't said how many players were affected. The casino is offering 1 year of free credit monitoring for you. Usher strike averted. The union representing ushers at several major Philadelphia arts venues has reached a tentative agreement with Ensemble Arts. The group organizes performances at the Academy of Music, Kimmel Center, and Miller Theater. We're working to learn the details of the agreement and when the workers will hold a ratification vote.
Camden officials say crime has dropped to some of the lowest levels the city has seen in more than 4 decades. The recent Uniform Crime Report shows a 43% decrease in homicides, a 17% decrease in violent crime year over year, and shootings dropping 36%, and overall crime down 8%. City leaders gathered yesterday to mark the positive change.
It's clear Camden is witnessing real change.
We had 17 documented murders in 2024. Last time we were that low was in 1985.
Camden officials also say that the city has seen progress in education and economic development. They say the job market has grown by almost 30% since 2017.